From a shipping company to a global aviation giant, you might have already guessed who it is. It's EVA Air, the child of Taiwan's Evergreen Group, founded in 1989 with the ambition to conquer the skies, just as Evergreen had dominated the oceans. In just a few short years, from a fledgling fleet, EVA Air positioned itself as a symbol of refined service and safety, pioneering innovations that transformed the flying experience, such as launching the world's first premium economy class. From its first flights in 1991 to a global network spanning over 60 destinations, EVA Air's story is one of strategic vision, technological investment, and an unwavering commitment to raising the bar in service quality. In this article, we'll explore the milestones that built EVA Air's reputation, from its bold beginnings to its current status as an international aviation star. If you enjoy this story, remember to like, share, and follow so you won't miss the next brand journey above the clouds. EVA Air was established in March 1989 by Dr. Chang Yong-fa, founder and chairman of Taiwan's Evergreen Group, as part of a strategic vision to expand the group's global transportation portfolio from maritime shipping into commercial aviation. Originally planned as Evergreen Airways, the airline adopted the name EVA Airways, short for Evergreen Aviation, to avoid confusion with an existing U.S. carrier. Backed by an initial capital investment of $400 million, EVA placed firm orders for 26 new aircraft, later increased to 28, worth $3.6 billion before launching any operations. The airline's creation was enabled by Taiwan's late 1980s deregulation of its aviation sector, paving the way for EVA to become the island's first privately owned international carrier. Revenue operations began on July 1, 1991 with an inaugural fleet of Boeing 767-300ERs deployed on short and medium-haul routes across Asia. Initial destinations included Bangkok, Singapore, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and Seoul, quickly expanding by year's end to additional regional cities and, notably, Vienna EVA's first European point. This rapid start delivered first-year revenues of approximately $40 million. From its inception, EVA Air pursued product differentiation through innovation. In 1991, it introduced the world's first four-class cabin configuration, highlighted by the Evergreen Deluxe cabin, an early premium economy concept positioned between economy and business class. Offering wider seating and personal seatback video screens, Evergreen Deluxe became a defining feature on EVA's long-haul network by 1992, signaling the airline's commitment to passenger comfort and market segmentation. Barely a year into service, EVA embarked on ambitious intercontinental expansion. In December 1992, it inaugurated nonstop Taipei-Los Angeles flights with Boeing 747-400s, becoming the first Taiwanese airline to operate its own long-haul service to the United States. In mid-1993, EVA launched a one-stop Taipei-Seattle-Newark route, making it the only Asian carrier serving Newark at the time. These U.S. routes also carried substantial cargo in the aircraft bellyholds, leveraging Evergreen Group's logistics network. In parallel, EVA extended its European presence, adding London Heathrow in 1993 and Paris in 1994. By 1995, the airline operated a young fleet of 20 aircraft with an average age of less than 1 year, a rare achievement for a startup carrier, laying the operational foundation for its transformation into a competitive global player. By the mid-1990s, EVA Air's growth trajectory was defined by rapid network expansion and a strategic push into air cargo. In 1995, just 4 years after launch, the airline surpassed 3 million annual passengers, achieved its first full-year profit, and posted revenues of $1.05 billion, up 45% year-on-year, with a net profit of $7.2 million, breaking even ahead of schedule. A major growth driver was freight. That year, EVA inaugurated dedicated cargo operations with a McDonnell Douglas MD-11 freighter on a weekly rotation, linking Taipei with Singapore, Penang, San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles. 4 additional freighters joined by mid-1995, fueling cargo growth of roughly 50% annually through the late 1990s. By then, freight already accounted for around 30% of total revenue, supported by plans to expand, with Boeing 747-400F freighters from 2000 onward, anchoring a balanced passenger and cargo model that cushioned against market volatility. EVA also strengthened its domestic and regional footprint through targeted acquisitions. Between 1995 and 1996, it took stakes in Great China Airlines, Mekong Airlines, and Taiwan Airways. In 1998, these assets were consolidated into UNI Air, giving EVA a dedicated short-haul brand, while allowing management to focus on its core, long-haul strategy amid a saturated Taiwanese domestic market. By decade's end, EVA's passenger network stretched across Asia, North America, and Europe, including London, Paris, Amsterdam, and Milan, while its freighters served hubs from Los Angeles and Atlanta to Amsterdam, Brussels, Mumbai, and Dubai. The carrier sustained growth even through the 1997 Asian financial crisis, trimming marginal routes but maintaining strong cargo performance. A key milestone came in October 1999 with EVA's initial public offering on Taiwan's OTC market, 1% of shares. Followed by a Taiwan Stock Exchange listing in 2001, Evergreen Marine retained roughly 25% ownership, with employees holding a significant stake. IPO. Proceeds fueled fleet modernization orders for 15 Boeing 777s in 2000. And the arrival of 3 Boeing 747-400 superfreighters that same year. Positioning EVA Air for its next phase of long-haul expansion. In the early 2000s, EVA Air faced a turbulent operating environment while advancing its fleet modernization. The post-2001 downturn triggered by the tech bubble collapse, the 11th of September attacks, and a softening global economy hit its trans-Pacific business hard. In 2001, EVA posted its first loss in years, a net deficit of about 3.17 billion new Taiwan dollars, 91 million US dollars, prompting cost control measures, staff reductions, and a pause on some expansion plans. Fleet renewal accelerated mid-decade. McDonnell Douglas MD-11 passenger aircraft were phased out or converted to freighters. Airbus, a 330-200 and 300s entered service for medium-haul routes. Fuel-efficient Boeing 777-300ERs began replacing aging Boeing 747-400s. The last passenger variant of the Boeing 747-400 would retire in 2017. A breakthrough came in 2008 with the liberalization of air links between Taiwan and mainland China. EVA swiftly launched charter flights to major PRC cities, transitioning to scheduled non-stops by year-end, eliminating the need for Hong Kong or Macau transits. By 2011, it served 17 mainland destinations, driving new revenue and spurring fleet plans, including potential Airbus A321 acquisitions to replace McDonnell Douglas MD-90s. Strategically, EVA maintained independence from global alliances, instead pursuing selective code shares with American, European, and Asian carriers. Yet by the decade's close, growing alliance influence prompted EVA to reconsider, laying the groundwork for deeper network integration ahead. Entering the 2010s, EVA Air pursued steady expansion while elevating its standing among the world's premier carriers. In 2010, the airline opened long-haul service to Toronto and inaugurated Taipei-Songshan-Tokyo Haneda flights, capitalizing on new open skies agreements with Japan. The following year brought service to Guam and the announcement of non-stop New York JFK flights, replacing the older Newark one-stop routing and creating a direct U.S. East Coast link. Leadership renewal came in 2011 with Chang Kuo-wei, son of founder Chang Yung-fa, becoming president, guiding EVA toward renewed profitability after the late 2000s downturn. Industry accolades followed, with Travel and Leisure naming EVA among the world's top 10 international airlines in 2010. A major strategic shift arrived in 2013 when EVA joined Star Alliance, ending its long-held independence. The 18-month integration brought global code-share connectivity, reciprocal frequent flyer benefits, and coordinated schedules with partners such as United Airlines, Lufthansa, and Singapore Airlines, greatly enhancing EVA's appeal to corporate and connecting passengers. Mid-decade, EVA expanded its long-haul footprint with Houston, 2015, and Chicago, 2016, joining its North American network, while maintaining key European routes. Fleet investment was central. In late 2015, EVA ordered up to 24 Boeing 787 Dreamliners, including the Boeing 787-10 as a launch customer, plus 2 more Boeing 777-300ERs. The Boeing 777-300ER, first delivered in 2005, had become the backbone of its intercontinental fleet, replacing Boeing 747-400s. Dreamliner deliveries began in 2018, Boeing 787-9, and 2019, Boeing 787-10, introducing new generation cabins and improved efficiency for medium and long-haul services. Service refinement became a defining theme. In 2016, EVA achieved Skytrax 5-star airline status, a distinction it has maintained annually. The carrier rolled out Royal Laurel-class flatbed business seats, refreshed interiors with mood lighting, upgraded in-flight entertainment, and in 2017 unveiled Shiatsu Chen designed uniforms. Premium economy, rebranded from elite class, was emphasized as a spacious, high-comfort option. Marketing creativity also reinforced brand loyalty. The Hello Kitty Jet program, revived in 2011, offered themed aircraft, meals, and service items, creating global buzz while complementing EVA's reputation for quality. By the decade's close, EVA was firmly established as a top-tier global airline, recognized for operational reliability, premium service, and a network that bridged Asia with North America and Europe. The outbreak of COVID-19 in early 2020 created an unprecedented disruption for EVA Air and the global airline industry. As borders closed and travel demand collapsed, EVA was compelled to sharply curtail passenger operations. Taiwan's stringent entry restrictions through much of 2020 and 2021 effectively suspended most scheduled international services. Passenger volumes plummeted from 12.9 million in 2019 to just 2.3 million in 2020, and further down to 0.3 million in 2021. A large portion of the fleet was parked, routes were suspended, and the few essential flights that remained operated under strict health protocols, including mandatory masking, enhanced sanitation, and modified onboard service delivery. Amid the downturn, EVA leveraged its robust cargo division to offset revenue losses. Air freight demand surged, particularly for medical supplies and e-commerce shipments, and EVA Air Cargo responded by ramping up freighter operations and deploying passenger aircraft in cargo-only freighter configurations. This pivot proved decisive. Although the airline posted a loss in 2020, it returned to profitability in 2021 with a net income of 6.6 billion new Taiwan dollars, driven by record cargo volumes of 857,000 tons, up from 703,000 tons in 2020. Throughout the crisis, EVA prioritized financial stability and operational readiness for recovery. Capital expenditures were deferred where feasible, but deliveries of select new aircraft, including additional Boeing 787s, continued to support fleet renewal. Workforce reductions were avoided, aided by government support and voluntary programs, ensuring experienced crews would be available when demand returned. As restrictions eased in 2022, EVA began methodically rebuilding its network. Taiwan's gradual relaxation of quarantine measures enabled the restoration of passenger services. The airline also launched 2 long-planned European routes. non-stop flights to Milan in October 2022, and Munich in November 2022. These were the airline's first new European destinations in a quarter century. Passenger numbers began climbing, surpassing 2 million in 2022, and by 2023, traffic, load factors, and frequencies were approaching pre-pandemic benchmarks. EVA Air's performance through the pandemic underscored its resilience and the strategic advantage of a balanced passenger cargo business model in navigating industry crises. With global travel rebounding, EVA Air has entered a new phase of growth and strategic renewal. In 2023, the carrier prioritized restoring capacity and rebuilding its network, particularly across the Trans-Pacific. Services to North America returned to near pre-pandemic levels, and EVA announced a major expansion with a new U.S. destination, Dallas-Fort Worth. Launching in late 2025 with 3 weekly flights before scaling to daily service, DFW will become EVA's 7th U.S. city and 2nd Texas gateway after Houston, targeting the robust Asia-Texas travel corridor and leveraging Dallas's strong domestic connectivity. In Europe, the Milan and Munich routes introduced in 2022 have performed strongly, complementing existing services to London, Paris, Amsterdam, and Vienna. EVA now offers the most extensive Taiwan-Europe network, enabling open-jaw itineraries and enhanced connectivity via Star Alliance partners. Across Asia and Oceania, the airline has reinstated service to key destinations and is evaluating selective expansion into South Asia and Oceania, while maintaining its core focus on North America, North Asia, and Europe. Fleet modernization remains central to EVA's 2025 strategy. Older Airbus, A330-300s and Boeing 777-300ERs are being replaced by new generation aircraft, with additional Boeing 787-10s arriving through 2027. In late 2023, EVA diversified its fleet mix with a landmark order for 18 Airbus, A350-1000s, and 15 Airbus, A321neos. The Airbus A350-1000 will serve as EVA's new flagship, offering high-capacity, next-generation cabins and up to 25% lower fuel burn, while the Airbus A321neo will modernize regional services. Sustainability has become a core pillar of EVA's long-term vision. Committed to achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050, the airline has accelerated sustainable aviation fuel adoption, operating its first SAF-powered passenger flight in August 2023 and expanding trials in 2024. EVA has partnered with Airbus to develop Taiwan's SAF supply chain and advance decarbonization initiatives. Additional measures such as optimized flight paths, weight reduction programs, and continuous descent approaches have improved operational efficiency. These efforts have earned EV a significant recognition. In 2024, the airline debuted on the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, achieved the highest S&P Global ESG score among airlines worldwide, and won both the Taiwan Corporate Sustainability Award and Global Corporate Sustainability Awards. These accolades underscore EVA Air's transformation into a growth-focused, sustainability-driven global carrier. Looking ahead, EVA Air approaches the future as a fully matured global carrier with both the resilience of experience and the momentum of renewed growth. More than 3 decades after its first flight in 1991, the airline has transformed from an ambitious newcomer into a Skytrax 5-star international brand, synonymous with safety, service excellence, and continuous innovation. Its story blends bold moves such as pioneering premium economy and breaking into long-haul markets with disciplined management through economic downturns, geopolitical shocks, and a global pandemic. Now entering a confident post-pandemic phase, EVA is leveraging its Star Alliance partnerships to deepen connectivity, expanding its network with precision, and introducing next-generation cabins aboard the incoming Airbus A350 fleet. By maintaining its balanced focus on both passenger and cargo operations, the airline safeguards its adaptability in an unpredictable market. Its sustainability roadmap, anchored in fleet modernization, fuel efficiency, and adoption of sustainable aviation fuel, reinforces EVA's readiness for a low-carbon aviation future. As it continues to connect travelers across continents, the company's guiding motto, "Sharing the world, flying together," carries renewed weight. In 2025, EVA Air stands as one of Asia's premier airlines. It is also a case study in how a privately founded carrier can scale to global prominence through strategic vision, operational discipline, and an unshakable commitment to its core values.